Hey everyone, and welcome. If you're tuning in, I bet it's because you or someone you know is dealing with diabetes.
Yeah,
And guess what? Today we're going to dive deep into some really hopeful stuff.
right.
We're talking about ways to take control of your health, things that are actually proven to work. We're going to be talking about natural strategies to lower blood sugar.
Uh-huh.
And get this, we're even going to talk about reversing type 2 diabetes. Is
Yeah.
that even possible?
It is. For some people.
Wow. And we're going to get real about sugar and sweeteners.
Absolutely.
But don't worry, we're not just throwing opinions around. We've got some seriously credible sources backing us up,
We do.
like UCLA Medical School,
Yes.
Healthline,
Uh-huh.
WebMD.
Know it.
So you can be sure you're getting solid information.
That's right. The goal here is to give you the knowledge you need to make the best choices for your health.
Exactly. Okay, so let's get right to it. First up, let's talk about what we can do, like right now, to lower blood sugar naturally. Healthline has a great list of 14 strategies, and some of them are so easy you'll be like, why didn't I think of that?
Right. Like exercise snacks?
Exercise snacks.
Yeah. Little bursts of activity throughout the day.
Oh, okay, like instead of sitting at my desk for hours.
Exactly. You could set a timer to get up and walk around for 5 minutes every hour.
Makes sense.
Even small things like that can make a difference in your blood sugar.
So simple, but so smart. What else is on that list?
Well, managing your carb intake is a big one, and choosing foods that are high in fiber.
Fiber. I know it's good for you, but how does that help with blood sugar?
Fiber slows down how fast your body absorbs sugar. It's like a buffer.
Ah, so instead of those white breads and sugary cereals.
Yeah, try swapping those for whole grains and load up on those fruits and veggies, and don't forget the legumes.
Got it. So small changes, but big impact. Now, what about reversing type 2 diabetes? You said that was actually possible.
For some people, it is. Research from UCLA Medical School shows that it can happen.
Really? So are we talking about like a cure?
Not quite a cure. But Dr. Daru, he's the one leading the research at UCLA, he uses this analogy of a slider. He says that healthy habits can move you away from diabetes on that slider.
Okay, so it's not a quick fix. It's about making healthy choices consistently.
Exactly. And a big part of that is weight loss.
Right, that makes sense.
UCLA found that losing even a small amount of weight, even a little bit, it can have a big impact on your blood sugar.
And could even help reverse type 2.
Right, exactly.
But weight loss, it can feel so overwhelming. Where do you even start?
Well, UCLA talks about two main ways to eat less bariatric surgery and weight loss drugs.
Okay, those are both pretty serious options.
They are, and they both have their pros and cons.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all situation.
Right. It's super important to talk to your doctor to figure out what's best for you.
Definitely. I'm hearing that it's not just about diet or exercise alone, it's about both of them working together.
Yeah, that's what UCLA and WebMD both emphasize.
You can't just cut calories and call it a day.
Exactly. Your body needs to move. Exercise helps your body use insulin better.
Makes sense. And speaking of results, WebMD talked about a study where more than half the people got their blood sugar almost back to normal without any medication.
Just by combining exercise with calorie reduction.
Wow. Now that's encouraging.
It really shows that lifestyle changes, even small ones, that can make a difference.
So it's all about finding exercise you enjoy, something you can do regularly, and making healthier food choices a part of your everyday life.
Exactly. It's about those little choices you make every day that add up over time.
Okay, so we've talked about moving our bodies and being mindful of what we eat.
Right.
But let's be honest, there's one big thing we haven't talked about yet.
Sugar.
You got it. I was reading this article by Justin Hames in Vail Daily,
Yeah.
and it really made me think. He says that sugar is hiding everywhere, even in foods you wouldn't expect,
Like
hamburgers.
what?
Yeah, a hamburger can have 6 to 12 grams of added sugar.
That's crazy.
I know, right?
It's
like a secret ingredient.
It makes you wonder what else has hidden sugar.
Exactly. So even when you think you're making healthy choices.
You might be getting more sugar than you realize.
Exactly. And our bodies do need some sugar.
Of course.
But too much sugar, that's when the problems start.
It really is the root of a lot of health problems.
So what about those sugar substitutes? They seem like a good option.
Yeah, they're calorie-free and sweet.
But I have a feeling there's more to the story.
There always is. Research from the National Institutes of Health, they found that even though sugar substitutes don't have calories,
Right.
they might actually make you gain weight.
Really? How is that possible?
They think it might be because they trick your brain. Or they might even change the bacteria in your gut.
Wait, what? Gut bacteria?
Yeah, it's a whole other world in there.
So you're telling me our gut health can actually impact our blood sugar.
It can. And those sugar substitutes, they might be messing with that balance.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. We need to dive deeper into this gut microbiome connection.
Absolutely. It's fascinating stuff.
And those sugar substitutes, are any of them actually good for us?
Well, some are definitely better than others.
Okay, well, we're going to have to unpack all of that in part 2.
You will.
But for now, keep those exercise snacks going.
And start checking those food labels for hidden sugar.
We'll be back soon with more. See you then.
See ya. Welcome back.
Okay, so last time we were talking about this crazy connection between our gut and our overall health.
Right, the gut microbiome.
Yeah, it's like this whole world living inside of us.
Trillions of bacteria.
Trillions.
Yeah. It's pretty wild when you think about it.
It is. So how does all of that affect our blood sugar?
Well, a healthy gut, one with a good balance of bacteria,
Uh-huh.
it can actually make your body better at using insulin.
Insulin.
Yeah, that's the hormone that helps your body use sugar for energy.
Right, right. So if your gut is healthy,
Your blood sugar will be more stable.
okay, that makes sense.
Hmm.
But what happens if your gut isn't healthy?
Well, then things can go wrong. You can get something called dysbiosis.
Dysbiosis.
Yeah, that's when the balance of bacteria in your gut gets messed up.
So like the bad bacteria take over.
Kinda, and that can lead to a bunch of problems like
Right.
insulin resistance, inflammation, even an increased risk of type 2 diabetes.
Yikes. So what causes this imbalance? Is it what we eat?
That's a big part of it.
Like all that processed food and sugary drinks?
Exactly. They can really mess with your gut bacteria.
But it's not just food, right?
No, other things can affect it too.
Like,
Stress.
oh yeah, stress is bad for everything.
It is. And lack of sleep.
I definitely don't get enough sleep.
And some medications can disrupt the balance too.
No.
Like antibiotics.
So it's really a combination of factors. But the big question is, can you fix it? Can you make your gut healthy again?
You can. There are things you can do.
Like what?
Well, one of the best things is to eat more plant-based foods.
Like fruits and vegetables?
Yes. And legumes and whole grains.
So basically just eating healthy.
Pretty much. These foods are full of fiber, which is like food for the good bacteria in your gut.
So we're feeding our good bacteria.
Exactly. And the more good bacteria you have, the healthier your gut will be.
I like that. It's like we have little pets living in our gut.
And we got to take care of them.
Exactly. What about those probiotics? I've heard those are good for your gut.
They can be. Think of them as reinforcements for your good bacteria.
Like backup.
Yeah, they can help restore balance in your gut.
But there are so many different kinds of probiotics. How do you know which ones to take?
Talk to your doctor or a registered dietitian.
Okay, they can help you figure out what's best for you.
And what about prebiotics?
Prebiotics, what are those?
They're like the fuel that keeps the good bacteria going.
Okay, so probiotics are the good bacteria.
And prebiotics are what they eat.
Makes sense. Where do you find prebiotics?
They're in lots of foods, like onions, garlic, asparagus, bananas.
Okay, so the usual healthy suspects.
Right. And don't forget fermented foods.
Oh yeah, those are supposed to be good for you too.
They are. Things like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut.
They have probiotics in them.
They do. They're full of good bacteria.
So we can get probiotics from food and supplements.
Exactly.
But it's probably better to get them from food, right?
It's always good to get nutrients from whole foods whenever possible.
Makes sense. So we've talked about diet, exercise, gut health. Is there anything else we can do to help manage our blood sugar?
Well, managing stress is really important too.
Oh, right, because stress can make your blood sugar go up.
Exactly. When you're stressed, your body releases hormones that raise blood sugar.
So it's not just what you need.
It's your whole lifestyle.
It's all connected,
Exactly. Finding healthy ways to manage stress, that's a big part of it.
like meditation or yoga.
Yeah, or anything you enjoy that helps you relax.
Makes sense. I'm really starting to see how all of this fits together.
It's a whole body approach.
It is. And it's empowering to know that we have so much control over our own health.
Exactly. You have the power to make changes.
Now, next time, we got to talk more about those sugar substitutes.
Yeah, we left off on that cliffhanger.
Are any of them actually good for us?
We'll dive into that in part 3.
All right, so we're back. And this time we're tackling those sugar substitutes.
Yeah.
It's like a whole world of sweet mystery out there.
Right. We want to know, are they friend or foe?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because we talk about how bad too much sugar is,
Uh-huh.
but giving up sweetness altogether.
Yeah, that's tough.
So these substitutes, they're tempting.
Oh, yeah. They promise all the sweetness without the guilt.
But are they all the same? Or are some better than others?
That's the big question, right?
That's what we're here to find out.
So let's break it down.
Okay.
We've got natural substitutes like monk fruit, allulose, stevia.
Monk fruit. That sounds kind of exotic.
It is. And it's incredibly sweet.
Really?
Hundreds of times sweeter than sugar.
Whoa. But is it good for you?
Well, it has no calories, no carbs, and it doesn't seem to mess with your blood sugar.
So it's safe for people with diabetes.
It seems to be.
Okay, so no weird aftertaste, no blood sugar spikes. Monk fruit, you're on my list.
Aha. All right, what about allulose?
Alulis. That's a new one.
It's actually a type of sugar.
Huh.
Yeah, but it's different.
How so?
Well, it's found naturally in some fruits,
Okay.
but unlike regular sugar, your body doesn't absorb it all.
So,
So it's very low in calories, and it barely affects your blood sugar.
like sugar's sneaky cousin.
Exactly. It's starting to show up in more and more foods.
I have to keep an eye out for it.
And then there's stevia.
Oh, yeah. Stevia is everywhere these days.
It is. It's another natural sweetener that's super sweet.
But some people say it has a weird aftertaste.
Yeah, some people find it bitter.
So it's a personal preference thing.
I guess so. But even with these natural sweeteners, you got to be careful.
How so?
It's easy to overdo it.
Right. You can't just eat a whole cake just because it's made with stevia.
Exactly. Moderation is key.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, now what about those artificial sweeteners?
Ah, yes, the lab-created ones.
Like Splenda, saccharin, those sugar alcohol?
Exactly.
Splenda, that's a big one.
Uh-huh. It's made from sugar, but they change it chemically.
To make it sweeter.
Way sweeter. Like 600 times sweeter than sugar.
And no calories.
None.
Sounds too good to be true.
Well, there's some debate about whether it's totally safe.
Oh, what kind of debate?
Some studies suggest it might mess with your gut bacteria.
Again, with the gut bacteria.
Yeah, it seems to play a role in a lot of things.
But more research is needed.
Definitely.
Okay, so for now, it's probably fine in moderation.
Right. Like most things.
What about saccharin? I feel like that one's been around forever.
It has. It's one of the oldest artificial sweeteners.
I remember my grandma using those pink packets.
Oh, yeah, sweet and low.
Yeah. Does it raise your blood sugar?
Nope. But it does have that metallic aftertaste.
Ugh. Yeah, I hate that.
Now, those sugar alcohol.
Like sorbitol and xylitol.
Yeah, they're kind of tricky.
How come?
Well, they have fewer calories than sugar.
That's good, right?
And they don't raise your blood sugar as much.
Okay.
But if you eat too much,
Yeah.
they can cause digestive problems.
Oh, like bloating and gas.
Yeah.
So not so fun.
Not really.
So it seems like with any sweetener, natural or artificial, the key is to be mindful.
Yeah. Read those labels. Pay attention to how your body feels.
And remember, everything in moderation.
Exactly.
Well, this deep dive has been quite a journey.
It has. We've learned so much.
We talked about those natural ways to lower blood sugar.
Uh-huh. Like those exercise snacks.
Remember those. Get up and move every hour.
Yeah.
And we can't forget about the power of diet and exercise working together.
That's a winning combo for sure.
And of course, we can't ignore the gut microbiome.
No, it's a key player in all of this.
Taking care of our gut, it's like taking care of ourselves.
It's all connected.
And then we explored this whole world of sugar substitutes.
From the natural to the artificial.
And the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Right.
But hey, knowledge is power.
It is.
Now we can make informed choices about what we put in our bodies.
And remember, it's not all doom and gloom.
Right.
There's so much hope for people with diabetes.
Like Dr. Duru said,
What was that?
genes are not your destiny.
I love that.
Me too. It's a reminder that we have the power to take control of our health.
Absolutely.
And this deep dive, this is just the beginning.
Yeah, keep learning. Keep exploring.
Keep asking questions.
And don't be afraid to talk to your doctor.
They can help you figure out what's best for you.
Absolutely. It's a journey, but you don't have to go it alone.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.